Hey, hey, YouTube viewers. Just setting up Discord as well. Bear with. Cool, and live in the Discord as well. Awesome. Hey Tom, I'm just gonna do a bit of general intro stuff. Show off a few updates. Thanks for tuning in again. Thanks for tuning in on YouTube, guys, as well. Looks like I'm sending people to the wrong place. Happening. I edit this event. Okay, hopefully people get that. Yeah, updates to the virtual production shared project. Oh, hold on. Stream's getting no data. Are we live? Let's use this timecode clock. Yeah, nice. Streaming again. Awesome. Let's see if people are moving over on the Discord. Yeah, cool. I'll just send some updates now anyway. Sweet. So yeah, we're doing these live streams weekly. And what we're doing is just showing updates on our virtual production shared project. We've been doing this for a couple months now. We've got a load of live streams showing off cool new features that we're adding into this project every single week. This week we've got a fair few new things added in, and really excited to show off what's going on. Firstly, we've just got this timecode clock that we've just fixed in a way so that it runs in editor as well. So it's just a really simple little one to set up. Just added this editor tick blueprint interface that I have already for other blueprints, and by hooking this one up into the only bit of blueprint that's running on event tick, doing this stuff called like implementing the editor tick blueprint interface and things like that. It means that you can have a timecode clock that runs in editor at the same time. Can be really useful, especially with composure and stuff. You might want to run stuff in editor, just before begin play, and yeah, you might want it to still run. I'm just going to show the chat in the Discord. Before I jump too deep into this editor tick clock, I'm just going to run through everything else that I've added, and then we can kind of discuss stuff. So as well as that, we've been working on the kind of podcast focused level, and this is like come around to quite a nice resolved level now. It's got a fair few features, and it's got a kind of sense of modularity because I've basically taken a lot of the keyboard controls that we've got here. I've put them into a pawn class. I've also got a base HUD class. We're doing some HUD stuff for controlling this kind of level. That's been really cool. So for this, what we've got is basically it's a bit of a recap on the whole podcast setup itself. What you would have is essentially two static cameras filming, like a lot of podcasts are set up like this, you know, one person in one shot, the other person in the other shot, and then a shot of both people as well. And these can all be static cameras, so the idea of this is that you could set this up for a studio where you've got 3 static cameras all streaming in, and you could kind of switch between those inputs. I'm just turning on the camera in the Discord as well. So yeah, so you could have the feel of like a 3D space without all the expensive tracked camera kind of stuff. And yeah, this is kind of diving into that kind of setup. Part of the shared project, we've got loads more features going on. I've just been adding this kind of HUD system, which has been quite fun. So let me show that off. So first off, on begin play, you have a intro sequence that just plays right away. And then that's not a level, that's just a pre-recorded bit of video, and that's just going to play on begin play. Or when you hit this intro button will also reset the whole level. So any sequences, any movement you've got, it's going to load the level up from scratch again. We've also got a stinger button, which is just another video overlaid that plays. You can just trigger that whenever you want. I guess the first thing to tell you is that all of this is available in buttons, whereas it was key bound before. It is also bound to keys still, but I've just like moved it all out into HUD stuff. Yeah, so with this idea of like 3 static cameras, you could do something like this. You know, in the real world, you'd have 3 cameras that are doing the same thing. So you could have people kind of composite into this 3D space with a sense of 3D. Quite nice. Got a moving shot as well if you want to experiment with that. Be really useful. But obviously a lot of movement with static subjects is going to end up looking kind of flat like a plane, but it could be something to experiment with. Other kind of fun things I've been looking at is lighting presets. So this is all just controlled on sequences. So these lights are just sequences, so you could have moving lights, flashing lights, and just simply triggering them as sequences makes it quite easy to make new stuff. You don't need to make a blueprint that does anything, you can just do keyframe animation with sequence. Also got this screen movement, and there you can see I've got sort of physics actors in here as well. This is again just a level sequence, I'm just pushing backs and forwards, all good. And these can just be done like in tandem as well, so kind of irrespective of each other. Also got these presets. This is where it gets really fun. You can start to really open out the level. This screen down. Maybe I should full screen this actually. Yeah, this kind of preset one is really cool. It's just, again, it's just a level sequence that you're triggering, so you know you can do anything you want with this. You can move any number of actors or anything. You could even take out the whole floor. This gets really fun as well with physics actors. You know, why not add a level of chaos to your scene? And again, like this is quite easy to jump into this project and make your own versions of this. All of these buttons are just basically triggering sequences, so if you can make a level sequence, this is handling all the triggering kind of for you. Another thing I've got is, I guess we've got a reset button that kind of resets all the sequences. Got one that's still active actually, so there might be a little bit of funniness going on there. I love how this chair takes a few resets to do it properly. Also, yeah, if we bring the screen up, bring it out, we got inputs on screen as well. That just like cycles between render target or texture inputs. Pretty cool. And then, you know, you can totally restart the level scratch as well. So yeah, the controls are ever complexifying, but I'm going to keep it around this kind of selection of features for now, and then keep the scope smaller, fairly small, and oh, quit button doesn't work. But yeah, that's kind of what's going on HUD-wise. I'm really happy with this. Something else that you might find quite interesting. Thanks, Chipkey. Oh, and thanks, Alejandro. Thanks for kind words. Something else you might find interesting is I've made like a simple keyer as well. So we're kind of finding that like the composure keying system, it just had loads of elements that you need to add together, and just not that simple. So I kind of like based a keyer off of just OBS's keyer plugin, and it's like so much simpler. There's like not many parameters. We're not looking for like super pro at the moment, but to get like a quick and easy key, it's also got despill and like crop and custom garbage mat and things like that. So just trying to like meddle with how much we can simplify the kind of keying process and things like that. So started off by making it on a regular material. And let's just like start it from scratch again. Reset everything. Just so we can see like what it's like when I was doing my testing, just seeing what it's like with all the kind of standard stuff selected. Yeah, it should look like this when you kind of start it up. I'm just making this in regular material, but I'm going to move it over to Composure as well. But hopefully it'll be something that we can use with our new media plane as well. So hopefully eradicating the need for Composure, which would be nice. So I don't know why these are selecting together now. That's weird. Okay, well, it should work anyway. So yeah, keyer material. It's going to take a input texture, usually media player video or something. And right off the bat, it's got green as its key color, but you can just select whatever you like, or you can tweak that green a little bit. And just to mimic OBS, we've just got simple adjust edge sliders. It's not saying like threshold, alpha, whatever. Just a bit more user friendly because it just says, you know, adjust edge. And, you know, you can just tweak those sliders how you kind of want. Got just an overall opacity. It's just something that came with OBS. I just wanted to mimic that. Got smoothness as well. So that will kind of do this feathering, this kind of Gaussian blur around the edges. Got brightness. I want to adjust color overlay. Contrast. Camera. Saturation. Yes, it is possible to crop, yes, indeed. And then despill. So let me just get these to like this. I just want to make the green edge kind of more visible. Probably more visible than you would normally make it, but to show off the despill. So activate despill color, something like that, and then it's really doing another pass and making those edges. They're still there. It's not getting rid of the green edges, but it's turning them from green into a different color. So yeah, I've hit that despill value. I thought it's nice to have a despill hue, because say, how can I show this? If we up the saturation, you can see that it's green still. But despill hue is useful because, you know, instead of green, you can change it to, you know, what looks more natural to be around the edge of this subject. You can kind of make it grayish with that as well, but bring this saturation makes it super grey. And yeah, we got cropping. It's like crop right, crop top, crop left, crop bottom. And we've also got custom garbage mat, so you can load a 2D image that you've pre-drawn, so you know the shape of your green screen, and you want to crop out certain things. So this kind of custom crop as well. So it shows it grabs that exact image. Yeah, so I just thought it's so much nicer to just have all of this in one place. Instead of with Composure, you have to make a chroma and then a despill separately, and then an erode, and then a crop, all as separate effects. This is kind of all bundled in together quite nicely. And as I say, this is like Composure led right now, but will be. Sorry, this is regular material right now, but I've made a version for Composure as well. So yeah, really nice Kia. All just here in one. So that'll be in the shared project ASAP, and will be reworked for just regular materials and also Composure. How is it applied? So at the moment, this one is just a regular material, and takes a render target input. So this is where your render target would go. But also Composure-wise, made a version here that is just a transform pass. So post-process Composure, our simple Kia. Instead, it just takes the pre-pass, and you've just got all the same parameters here, but just in a Composure instead, Composure comp instead. So at the moment, yeah, working for both. This despill thing is the only thing I'm figuring out at the moment. That's not activating the despill, that's activating the whole alpha, so not sure exactly what's changed there, but you know, still works as a Kia. It's the only thing out of a user-friendly side I would need to fix that, but yeah, Kia. Really happy with that. It's just so much nicer to have it all in one place rather than just loads of these transform passes. Yeah, so that's updates on the shared project. This stuff will be added to the repo ASAP, and be able to download and play with that, as well as the kind of HUD control stuff we've been doing. So all super able to be used. I was also looking at this HUD and how it can load into other levels. So we go into the original kind of level I was working on a little while ago. A lot of this HUD stuff is kind of modular for new levels, so it still has this intro, the HUD still comes up, still do a stinger. You can still do shots that you've assigned in the level. There'll just be different shots and different level sequences if you have a different level. And then presets actually worked right off the bat for me for this as well. So these were presets that I'd assigned for this level in previous tests, and yeah, they actually work right off the bat. So it's essentially just taking loads of level sequences. So if you can make a level sequence, I'll show you how to, at some point I'll do some tutorials of how to load the level sequences into the right place. But then it's just a case of pressing these buttons and it's all queuing. So yeah, pretty happy with that. Yeah, things I need to fix is the screen input button doesn't work for this level, and we don't have any lighting presets. Also get a crash. Yeah. So yeah, that's bits I'm working on. yeah, let me know if you got any questions or thoughts on any of this. Cool to hear what you guys have been doing. I'm just gonna I think I have my Discord muted as well. I'm just gonna double check that 1 second. Yeah, so you'll be playing out to the stream now, just so you know.
Can you hear me?
Hey, yeah, I got you, Tom.
Okay. I downloaded the project through GitHub, and I tried this the other day with a zip, and then I tried with anyway GitHub desktop. The point is that when I try to run the project, I'm getting an error asking me to basically recompile the plugin, the OWL plugin. And I tried downloading the latest version and replacing it. I tried deleting it, so it just used the one that's built into the engine. In other words, it's in the program files there rather than, and it just it doesn't work and it doesn't rebuild, and I'm not sure why.
Yeah, fair enough. That's definitely something we need to look into. It should be that you should be able to the toolkit should be rolled in with that GitHub upload, but something, I'm not sure how to demo this, but there's an option where you can say like disable and continue, or you can also just totally remove the plugin from the plugins folder and then open I think you want to try and get to this option where it says like disable and continue.
It doesn't give me that option.
Okay. Yeah, it's very strange.
It just says following modules are built with a different engine version, OWL Virtual Production. Would you like to rebuild them now? Yes or no? Whichever one I choose doesn't work. If I choose no, it just disappears. Everything goes away. If I try yes, it says, nope, I can't do that.
It says try rebuilding from source manually, doesn't it? Something like that.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't have that to do that.
Yeah. Interesting. That's worth checking.
And I've deleted them. I deleted the plugin, like I said, so that it would just use the one built into the engine. And I tried to edit which is really weird. I tried to edit the U project file and simply take out reference to the plugin, and it still does it. I'm not sure where it's getting it from. There's two things in the U project file. One is modules. It's OWL Virtual Production Runtime. And then the second one is plugins. And like I say, I took them both out, and it still gives me the same error message.
Right, yeah. And you've tried also going to this plugins folder, removing it from here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I deleted that. Yeah, and I downloaded the latest version of the plugin, and I put it into the folder also, just in case.
Yeah, it's all worth trying, yeah. Very strange, yeah. I think if I was on the same computer or I had the same problem in front of me, I could find a series of things that you'd do. I can't think off the top of my head what you'd do. It could also be where, did you also check that you don't have a version of the plugin just in your overarching engine folder?
In my engine folder under program files, Epic Games, etc.
Yeah.
I mean, I have the latest version there.
Yeah.
That's why I deleted it from the local, that I downloaded with GitHub, thinking it would use that, but didn't do that either. So.
Have you tried or have you already installed the latest version from the website instead of from the GitHub?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I literally also just downloaded that as you were speaking 5 minutes ago. I downloaded the latest version from the website, and I tried that as well.
Tried that as well, and that had the same problem?
Correct.
Okay, interesting. I don't know if Shipke, have you downloaded the project before? I know people have got into it, and we've done loads of tests on that, and that has come up before, and I thought we'd fix that, but yeah, I'll definitely flag that one up. I can't think off the top of the head of what it would be, but
Okay.
yeah, it's something that came up quite a lot. That yeah, I always thought you could get to a point where you can disable the plugin and continue, and it will just open the project without any.
I thought so
Any
too. I've had
stuff.
that with other plugins where I was able to do that, but
Yeah.
I wasn't here.
Mm-hmm. It's not super difficult to rebuild from source in a Visual Studio project. I don't know if you have Visual Studio installed. Do you use that?
I do, and I actually tried that day before yesterday when this first happened. I have Visual Studio 2022. I have rebuilt plugins before, like for the Bliss plugin, I'd used this.
Sure.
But I might not have done it correctly. I don't know what I need to do. I don't remember, to be honest.
Yeah.
How I did it with the Bliss plugin before.
So this looks like the same kind of steps that we would do if our plugin isn't working, and it's this kind of error message, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll chuck this link on here. It's obviously something that I'd rather people don't have to do, so we'll try and fix it as well. But if you fancy trying these steps as well, yeah. But yeah, it was. I mean, maybe deleting these binaries build intermediate saved can help.
Wait, just scroll back. It's delete what folders binaries from where?
These are all just in the content. Well, before the content. So
in the project folder. Gotcha.
Saved. Intermediate. Yeah. So those can just be totally deleted because they're made on the startup, on the project kind of startup. Worth a try. It could also be worth trying to delete these and disable the plugin. Also, I don't know if this forum has the instructions for rebuilding from source in Visual Studio, but here's only a couple steps.
Yeah, I did it once like a year ago.
Yeah.
And I just don't remember.
Yeah, that's also worth a try. But yeah, obviously it would be. Yeah, I thought that shouldn't come up actually, so that's good to know. Good to know that you've come across that, because yeah.
Sorry, wait. Which version of is this a 5.3 project?
It's 5.2 at the moment, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought, and that's what's coming up.
Okay.
But I thought, oh wait, maybe if it's a 5.3.
That could have been. Yeah. Yeah. No. Sadly not. I guess also to help you out with this time, because your main reason of getting into this project at the moment is for this timecode clock, isn't it? Is there anything we could look at?
Well, I'd like to see the other things too, but yeah, the timecode clock also doesn't work in my.
Yeah. I don't know if it would help for me to show you what exactly all the stages of what's going on here, and whether you can.
I even actually just copied the folder with the 3 files in it from the new download through GitHub into my other project where it wasn't working, and it's still not working.
Yeah, okay.
It's in a new folder, so it's standing alone. I wonder if there's a setting somewhere.
I don't think it uses any global settings. I'm pretty sure it doesn't, because yeah, but it has got a few dependencies, like so Alejandro, to answer your question on how the timecode actually works, it is actually as simple as this. This is the whole blueprint. But as it came as standard, it was off of Begin Play. I guess maybe is that also. Perhaps there's something going on with this material instance dynamic, but to get simply like get a timecode, you can do this node timecode to string, which is really useful. Yeah, we kind of added on this editor tick version.
I'm not getting that streaming line of animation.
Okay, yeah. So it could be that something with your, so for one, you need to have this class settings implemented interfaces editor tick here, which we went through before, which is fine. Then we also need in construction script, you need add child actor component editor ticker. And that's all the things you need to do in this blueprint.
Can I share my screen and then you can?
Yeah, double check this the same. Yeah. Yeah, I actually don't know how the text string is put into the material, to be honest. Let's check it out.
Are you seeing?
Yeah, I'll just check out this. Okay, cool. So maybe first, worth double checking that you've got in the construction script, you've got the add child actor component. Oh, and there's that. So child actor class is set to none there. So editor ticker needs to be that. That child actor class.
I didn't hear you.
That child actor class from the drop down where it's set to none there, that needs to be set to editor ticker.
Oh.
Yeah, BP editor ticker. Yeah. Nice. Let's see. In the event graph, is that firing now in the event graph?
Still not happening there, and then no.
So it could be worth trying to remake that event editor tick. Right click and go event editor tick.
Event tick?
No, it needs to be an editor tick. No. So maybe just try searching editor. Okay, cool. Yeah, try doing that again. Yeah. Oh no. Was there another option in that list? Try that same list again. Okay, so it's got this message. Try what's that message one? Editor tick message. Okay, that's cool. So try go class settings.
Event tick, editor tick, but that's the same thing.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to have the cooling the event for it. So maybe worth trying to go class settings and just check that interface is implemented. Yeah, class settings. So under implemented interfaces down there, you need to go add. One more down, implemented. Yeah, add, okay. And then editor ticker should be in there. Yeah, that's right, BPI. Yeah. Try compiling that. Yeah.
Compiling, sorry.
That's right. So try searching for that event editor tick again. Yeah. Nice. Okay, that's good. Try hooking that up. Compile. And yeah, you can delete the other one.
It doesn't like me having two, I think.
Yeah. Okay, it's still not firing an editor. Cool. Okay, so double check. Can you double check that class settings again one more time, please? Yeah, it's still implemented.
And this is literally just copied over from your project, so I don't know how it would lose specific settings.
Yeah,
like
that's
why.
Yeah, that's really strange. Really strange. Let me just check this up against mine. So next thing to check really is the actual BPI Editor Tick. So if you go to that class settings, implemented interfaces, and then browse to asset.
Sorry, Oh, here?
Yep, yep,
Got it.
that's right. So that's there. Yeah, that's all the same. Cooling editor is ticked. Yeah. Okay, cool. And then also, let me just see where it is for me.
Has anyone else here tried it in their project? A separate project?
I wouldn't think so. Out of these two. And then next, if you go back to the construction script. Yeah,
Sorry,
and then
slow.
no, it's all good.
What happens? I did not click on that. Okay, okay.
Cool. And then in this child actor component, now you can browse to that asset where it says child actor class. Up a bit, child actor component, child actor class, and then yeah, browse to asset. The little folder with the little browse to, yeah, just so we can find, yeah, and then open that up. And then go construction script for this. Okay, so that's there. Does implement interface. That node that says does implement interface, that needs to be BPI Editor Ticker.
The fact that I have, I might have my stuff set at 24 frames per second.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you need to set that for sure. Yeah, to your frames. Yeah, and then this. Yeah, true. That's well spotted. That was set to 30 by default for me as well. So it might just be that some of these variables are just resetting for some reason. So yeah, this does implement interface node, the green node in the middle. That interface needs to be set to BPI Editor Ticker. Yeah, in the
Here?
purple there. Yep. 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 Compile and save.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, we got numbers. Nice.
Yeah. So that was what it was. Okay.
Nice.
I would not have found that.
Yeah.
And it's weird. Why would that like disappear when I just copy it from one project to another?
Yeah.
Is it because
especially,
it's in a different folder?
Did you migrate or just copy and paste?
I copied and pasted.
So it could be because of that.
I mean, I had to copy and paste because I can't open that project.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that's usually the case if you kind of copy these blueprints over. You'll lose some of these connections, like these specific drop downs and things do need to be reset. But obviously you didn't know the string of kind of blueprints that were re-referencing each other, so that would be really tricky to do.
Yeah.
But,
all right. Well, thanks.
Yeah.
That clears it up, and I'll make sure, obviously, that I, migrate from now on.
Yeah, if possible, or just like remember which like parameters you would need to like rename or reset. I'll keep that in mind. Or like you can if you can open the other project, you can look at them side by side and see if there's any differences and stuff. Yeah.
True. It's just that's drilling down quite a bit, and honestly, there's so many other things to remember that.
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to get deep with it. Oh, I'm glad that's working there. That's cool.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks.
Yeah, no probs.
Hey, have you used stencil layers much?
We've kind of been chatting about them a little bit recently. Yeah.
Have you been doing much with rendering? Just rendering output, maybe render queue?
No, not loads. I've just seen the one kind of William Fulcher tutorial on outputting different stencil buffers. Yeah.
It's pretty straightforward theoretically, but I'm having problems with it. Part of what I'm trying to do is I already logged in. I don't know why it wants me to do that again. Part of what I'm trying to do is figure out how, if I'm shooting a scene with this, but recording to my camera, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm using the placement plane here. How do I render that out so that I can use it? I'm gonna stop sharing my screen if I didn't already. So how do I render out the scene and then match my footage from the camera back onto that? And originally I was thinking I would use stencil layers, but I realized that I'm then not going to actually get any of the reflections in the scene.
True. Yeah, yeah.
So my thought is, and just, tell me if you think this makes sense, is to actually use the footage or a down-res version of the footage, doesn't really matter, just for, convenience or real-time playback or whatever, and play that back into the scene.
Yeah.
I just need to figure out how to synchronize the time code properly, and then render out the scene with the, let's say, the character, the talent in the scene, so I get my reflections and stuff.
Yeah.
And then render out a second pass where it's just the off-world live, the plane itself, and then bring that render into DaVinci and then pin the footage to that with the keying and then overlay it back on top.
Yeah.
The only reason for this is that, I could just do the talent in the render, and that probably would be good enough.
You could also make a mask for any elements that have the reflection as well. So you can make one render that is without the talent, with the talent invisible, and then do your whole setup for adding that talent in after. And then could you do another render with just like the talent reflection in the scene? Pass. But yeah. There is that, because my worry with running this version, something I found with running the kind of in CG version underneath the rest of the comp, is you get like, because this is still subject to motion blur and stuff like that, you sometimes see some of the edge around the talent from some of this artifacting around here. So if you were to, depends on your scene and everything, I'm sure, but if you were to make a mask that's just a pass of maybe using the stencil buffer or something, just rendering the reflection, like the floor or any objects that are reflecting.
Right.
That could also work.
Yeah, that's a thought.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna try to keep going through it. My main problem is right now I tried using stencil buffers. If I render out the whole scene, it renders fine. If I try using a stencil layer, like one of the layers that I've created, the way that William Faucher, says, and others, I'm just rendering out black.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, as I say, I've not dived into it loads. Is that because is the change there? Like, have you tried rendering regular stencil layer stuff in like a without composure? Do you think the change is that you're using composure?
I'm not. No, I haven't. But I need to. Like I say, I'm troubleshooting, so I just haven't gotten far enough to try to figure out what's going on yet. But that's a possibility, I suppose.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm afraid I haven't used it loads either, but I was looking at kind of doing cheap masks with it and stuff for sure. But yeah, haven't done loads of exporting with it.
Okay.
Yeah. So as for this question about the timecode and how that goes onto the material, that I think what they're doing here is because they have this. Oh wait, that's not the level. We're gonna crash. They've got like a text actor, and then they're basically lifting the string and setting the text in that text actor as a result. I'll just show you 1 second. So I think what's going on is this text actor, so I guess this is like bound by doing this text render. What it's got is it's got the ability to set the text as a kind of parameter, kind of like how a dynamic material instance or something would do. So how do I just write a string? Print string. Hello. Oh wait, okay, I can just change it here. So in theory, if I just write hello here, would this come up on the clock? Yeah, yeah. So that's how they're inputting that, and they're just getting a string value from this timecode to string get timecode. So that looks like how they're hooking up the text into the material. I thought they'd be using a dynamic material instance, but yeah, just doing that text actor. It's quite cool. So yeah, the level of the two chairs related to the spinning rounded material under the platform. How's that done? Similar, yeah. Yeah, I did actually make that one from scratch, so I can show you. It's quite fun to make. So it's kind of somewhat specific to this shape here, but not totally. Let's jump into the material here. So the scrolling, this is the kind of scrolling section. The way I've set it up here is it takes a long texture. So if you can fit your text into this kind of shape, then it will behave the same on the same object. But you could put any texture of any size in here, and it would still do the scrolling and stuff. You can totally lift this from the shared project, but this is the kind of scrolling we're using. This kind of trying to do that live. Interesting. This is because I was about to send a feature request. Web input source, like ABS. Browser source, very interesting. So there's a native web input for UE5. It's more focused for the interface, not to apply to textures. Web input could help find textures like exchange news, tickets, lower thirds, and so on. They're in non-69. Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, and just lifting that from a URL would be super convenient, wouldn't it? Definitely make a note of that. It's really cool. And I'll check out the OBS URL. What's it called? Web input source. Broadcast standards NDI. It's about many tools on the market render HTML instead of NDI. So what's the appeal of having, or like how do you get the non-69 format things? Are they just running like as a little web page? Like say for lower thirds, how would someone like queue the lower third as a HTML thingy? It's really interesting. Like having a browser without the top navigation bar. Yeah, I guess you just get like the this area. Yeah, cool. That's cool. Yes, I've definitely used it in other programs. The URL source. Real-time text stream from things viewers are typing. Yeah, stuff like that. Okay, nice. So is this just a bit of like custom HTML? Yeah. Interesting. So yeah, I guess what it would be is like we would have like an off-world actor that's similar to like the viewport capture. Let's just see what happens if we make something like this. But yeah, like HTML capture would be amazing. So say this render target. What happens if I put this into the material? And then let's put this on something bigger. Let's do material instance instead. So we don't really want the colors. Let's make those white. Don't really want the lines unless we want it kind of stylized. I don't think I can actually get rid of the lines in this material, so that's interesting. We could quickly try and do an opacity. But yeah, essentially, like, the material is not the most complex material, but yeah, these controls could be edited live. You can totally do that. You can totally do it's like dynamic material instance is what you want to do. So you want to if you want to control it with blueprints or like a HUD or something, you would do create dynamic material instance. That's how I'm doing the input switching here. If I show you this as an example, it could help you think about the scrolling. So screen input, it's just switching when you press this button, right? And the way I've done that is this screen has this material instance dynamic applied to it. The way I've done that is, oh yeah, I've got this media handler blueprint I've made. Media handler. And so this is just like a blueprint that stands on its own, but it just takes in any amount of textures that you want to chuck into it. So, you know, here you could load in any texture at all. And then in this media handler, yeah, what we're doing is just, we got this cycle render target custom events that can be fired on a key press or it can be fired on a HUD or something. And this is essentially, this bit of code is cycling through all of those textures that I've defined here. And it's doing this set texture parameter value on a material instance dynamic. And that material instance dynamic is what's here. And these are really great for changing materials at runtime after begin play using any kind of parameters that you've set. So texture parameter value has the name texture input. That is the exact input that I've created in this material, in the kind of screen material. Texture input. So that's how you change materials from outside the material, is you create a material instance dynamic and you set the set any parameters that you want to set. So say you wanted to change scroll speed or change UV cropping or anything like that, you need to get your dynamic material kind of reference, and you can do like set scalar parameter value or set you know, vector. It's all there, you know. If you can name that parameter, say this would be like screen speed, that can then be set at runtime on a button push or on a slider or something. But yeah, HTML is a great idea for an input. I feel like that would be pretty easy to implement as well, so definitely adding that as a ticket, really cool. Cool. Ah, nice. So things to add to the bottom of your streams and things. change color palette and things. Very cool. Really easy to change out the design as well by the looks of it. And yeah, like grabbing useful little code snippets and things like this and adding them into your scene in Unreal is an awesome, really awesome idea. Maybe yes, you can just paste the code and it is lightweight and fast. Yeah, I'm sure it would be. Yeah. So does OBS have this already included, or is it a plugin? Browser. Yeah. Is that it? Create new browser. Copy code. URL. Guess, is it going to take the width and height? Interesting. I'll work it out. Very cool. Yeah, thanks for putting me onto that. That's really useful. So yeah, I think I'm going to wrap up this stream. Loads of cool features. Check out the beginning of the stream that's up on YouTube if you want to see kind of the breakdown of what I've been going through with the shared project stuff. Basically now got a HUD, we got stinger overlays, we got light adjustments on the fly, we've got these shots that you can add, we've got kind of stuff that moves around your scene. We've got inputs for the screen that you can cycle through. So you want to load up some videos while you're talking or whatever. We've got whole room changes. And even more extreme room changes. And obviously you can feel free to just add in any fun Unreal Engine stuff that's in there, like these kind of dynamic moving tables and stuff. It's always fun to play around with. So this is all configured just based off of level sequences. So whatever level sequences you want to trigger, this can do the triggering for you. I've kind of categorized them here for like presets for like moving stuff, lights, shots for cameras, and stingers and stuff for 2D text overlays. So yeah, that's where we're at the moment. Can't wait to see where this goes next. Feeling pretty well rounded. Got to look at getting the people in here, of course, but yeah, super happy to share this with you guys. Ooh, level transition. Great idea. Great idea. Yes, so on GitHub you'll have this scene with the HUD and everything as well, actually. Yep, made an update a couple of days ago, so feel free to check that out. That's all, yeah, it's all downloadable on the GitHub. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, everyone, and feel free to tune in next week if you've got any more virtual production questions or anything, or you want to see where the project's at next week. Yeah, thanks so much for tuning in. Super nice to see some people hanging out.